Hello and welcome to this edition of Hodhod News Magazine. This is Muhammad Hussein.
And I'm Sarah. Stay with us. End of the one-child policy in China.
A group of whales on a beach.
Strange clouds in Cape Town.
Villagers in India rescue baby elephant from abandoned well.
The spider rain phenomenon in Australia.
China has decided to end its decades-long one-child policy. All couples can now have 2 children as the country announced an ease of family planning restrictions.
These children could be the first in generations to have a brother or sister. It's estimated that the controversial policy prevented about 400 million births since it began in 1979. It was enforced to reduce the country's birth rate, in turn slowing the rapid growth of population. Back in 1950s, China's population was increasing by around 1.9% each year after people were encouraged to have children to increase the workforce.
But the government decided that this was unsustainable, resulting in one-child policy. Chinese families traditionally favor boys, and so if they can have only one child, some parents abandon girls and try again for a boy. Under the 2013 reform, couples in which one parent is an only child were allowed to have a second child. Currently, there are no immediate details on the new policy or a time frame for implementation.
10 pilot whales were found stranded on a beach in a French region of Calais.
Authorities managed to safely return 3 of them back to the sea. However, by the time rescue teams arrived, 6 of them had already died. Fire crews sprayed the animals with water as they tried to save them. The last whale died as rescuers attempted to return it to the water. Officials say this group of whales was likely from the same family, and the beaching may have followed the death of the dominant male.
Some of the experts also believe that these animals were migrating. They think the male or female or both died out at sea, and the entire group drifted ashore at the same time. It's the first time in 30 years that this number of whales has beached in the French region. Autopsies will be carried out at the University of Liège to find out the cause of death.
Above the scenic city of Cape Town in South Africa, something strange is happening in the skies.
As the clouds gather speedily, panic is increasing and people take to social media to show their fear. There's talk of tornadoes, UFOs, and even aliens. But meteorologists are calling them lenticular clouds. These are lens-shaped and typically are fixed. They're from when air flows along the surface of the earth and reaches some sort of obstruction point, like a mountain.
Then divert the flow of moving air, and because the airflow contains moisture within it, a series of large-scale standing wave can develop. Then the alien-like shapes take form, and when the moisture flows down to the back of the wave, the clouds eventually evaporate and vanish. So next time you're witness to strange clouds in the sky, it may be worth getting your phone out to record any unusual movements.
A baby elephant had to be rescued by the villagers in the southern India.
The 2-year-old calf is believed to have been walking the forest range in Kerala with its herd when it accidentally fell down the deep hole. Locals soon arrived on the scene after hearing the elephant and found the confused animal burying its head under the mud and attempting to dig its way out of the well.
After forestry officials were called, a motorized digger was brought in to help dig a makeshift slope in the wall of the well. When the slope was finally low enough, a rope was attached to the elephant and villagers were able to pull the animal out. The animal quickly ran back into the forest, but is unknown whether it was reunited with its herd.
Residents in Goulburn, South Australia had a horrifying shock when thousands of baby spiders rained down from the sky.
The town was invaded by the arachnids as homes and gardens were reportedly covered with the spiders and mounds of their silky threads. The phenomenon of spiders falling from the sky, commonly known as spider rain, is not uncommon across parts of Australia.
It's caused by spiders climbing to the highest heights that they possibly can. They then use their web silk as tiny parachutes and land. The silk catches on the breeze and carries the spider wherever it wants to go. Although this is happening all the time, it's fairly rare for millions of spiders to do it at the same time and land in the same place.
Welcome to picture part. Our first picture is debris is pictured in Bento district, Brazil. A view of the vast Mars Canyon system taken by NASA. Young children get a close-up view of the killer whale during a visit to the animal park in San Diego. A girl reads a book on her balcony as smoke rises from chimneys of a steel plant on a hazy day in China. Boats head into shore as storm clouds move along the coast towards the city of Sydney, Australia. Kayaking makes us drop on the Jula River, Norway. And the last picture, the beautiful humpback whale in the Atlantic Ocean.
Welcome to Technology Part. Today we want to talk about a simple cell phone for disabled and old people.
Mobile phone technology is constantly becoming faster, smarter, and more complex. But for some sections of society, that's not always a good thing.
Lots of grannies want to talk with their children, grandchildren, and their loved ones, but they can't. Now, one mobile phone maker in London is attempting to address the problem of older people and the disabled who find new technology difficult to use.
These cell phones are made in London. The tech company prides itself on making perhaps the world's simplest mobile phone.
The devices can be programmed with up to 12 easily accessible contacts. According to the UK's communication centres, 82% of people aged between 65 and 74 in the UK use a mobile phone, but this drops significantly to 52% for people aged 75 years and older.
The new, simpler devices could encourage older people to stay in touch with their loved ones, especially with their cute grandchildren. Let's watch the video.
And that was the end of this week's news magazine.
Thanks for watching us.
See you next time.
Bye.